From what point do you really start? Think about this. You watch all these shows about people wake up in the morning, oh, it's lovely outside today, and everyone's happy and they sing all joyous, but then all of a sudden this seriousness comes over and there's this hustle in the crowd and everyone's got to go back to, there's the government running things, and there's, even in cartoons, say like Trolls, and that one, they all come out and they come singing or something like that at the beginning, and then you can't be happy all the time, you got to be serious. We got this mission we got to do. We got to face the bad and make it good, like if we didn't have to face the bad, if we could all realize that we're the good and stop acting like the bad, the ones who realize that they are the bad people in the system, why don't they give that fucking roll up and say, hey, why don't we live like we make these fairy tale movies? Oh, we can't do that because we gotta have money and we gotta have all this stuff. Yeah. No, we don't. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather be happy than have look at what I have? And it all starts way back at the earliest time, when one kid has something and another kid wants it and the other kid lets them play with it. Like, the parent either has to say that kid doesn't know how to share, or the other parent has to let the kid share. We've got to learn a structured way to teach people this. I mean, sharing is caring. Like, from the very beginning, like, you have to make sure we know how to share, and if we can't have something because there's only a limited quantity, to be like, hey, that wasn't on purpose and you'll have some. Now keep in mind that that's something you'd like to have, and no matter what happens, if you keep in mind that that's something you'd like to have, you'll have it, and you realize you have everything already, but as a kid you don't. So as you grow, you have to be taught how we can do that, how we can learn how to make things for ourselves, how we can work together to do all these things that we're doing right now without money. We can do all the things we're doing right now without money. And we could do it in a wise way that we don't need to kill the earth. We could actually use the earth as our friend because we love it. It is us. It's me. It's you. Individually. But then I'm talking to a tape recorder which separates me. So I have to act like I'm separate. So when I'm saying you, I'm really just talking to myself. No matter who hears this. It's you talking to you. Through me. And I know that doesn't make sense. Well, it makes complete sense. And I know it doesn't sound normal for people to say. But that's why it doesn't seem to make sense to people. So when I say stuff like it doesn't make sense or it's weird, I know it's not. It's actually the truth, and it's completely logical if you understand where I'm coming from. But when you come from a human mind and think that's all we are, when we breathe air and all this stuff goes on outside us and we don't seem to care how it really happens, we have vague definitions. And they're pretty intense vague definitions, but they're still vague definitions. So anyway, where do we start? We have to really be hands-on from day one as parents. And when we have a kid, we have to realize that our life is going into that life. And if we don't have to run off to work, we can be at home, let the kids play and grow our garden, have our fun, take our kids to wherever after we get our gardens done. Like, instead of going to work for 8 hours, we tend to our house, that's it. And then we do stuff with people. We don't need to worry about money to get there because we all share. We all find a way to do it with a sharing way. Instead of being like, how can we capitalize on people? We start thinking as a group and thinking, how can we do this together without needing this? And who would mind doing this without pay to help? And we'd have new ways to get rid of things, new ways to dispose of things, new ways to get rid of our wastes and our garbage and all that stuff. Everything would be new. Everything. From scratch, from scratch. We'd have to find a starting point in which with some of the things that we already have that we want to keep that way. But we have to take out the emotional baggage we have against each other and start from that point. Alright? I hope that's a good start. I'm going to keep trying the rest of my lives as long as I'm this conscious, or more conscious. I don't know if I could get any more conscious. But you could just put it in better words. I'm actually 100% God, so I don't want to sound stupid because people don't like that word, but it's also just a word. I'm 100% of what we are from the very beginning, and I can explain it to you so that you know that you are that too, even though there's other people walking around you. If you study what I'm saying, which I'm not telling you have to, but you should. This is for your good. This is for the world's good. No one would hurt each other if they know what I know and believed it. You can know something and not believe it, but you have to believe it. You have to internalize it, because that's what you're doing to yourself on any level. Anything that's bad or negative, you're doing it to yourself because you believe it. on an internal level. So it externally shows. And there's other people out there projecting some of those things too. So once you get it set in yourself that even though some of those things will show up, and it's because other people are projecting them, you have to help them learn how to not to. We have to get rid of some things that we are doing all the time and we're used to, but we have to get rid of them completely. Celebrating violence, celebrating, competition is fine, but celebrating you win and you lose because you suck. Instead of that, it should be like, good job. And then the other people, good job. You did good. You didn't win, but no big deal. Not like losers. That, like, the attitudes we have towards those situations may seem to make it's fun to be a fan and taunt other people. If you can taunt people without getting serious, people argue and fight over their team. Come on, give me a break. If we could do that in a way where it's fun, yeah. But if it's gotten to what it's gotten to, everyone's got all this other baggage in their life, so they take it out on somebody who's a sports fan for the other team. That's ridiculous, people. Come on. I know this makes sense. People just don't want to try to change. That's the problem. I'm not crazy. It's the people who don't want to do anything else that are crazy. But it's more like lazy. They're lazy crazy. Later.